Guess we'll be back there same time tomorrow morning.
Smoke comes back.
Oh. That's our first discussion there, boy.
And stay tuned, we'll slam a big Tommy.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of season 1 for Haastyle Hunting, otherwise known as the early years. To really get to know who we are, who Haastyle Hunting is, we must go back to the beginning. And to do that, we go back all the way to harvest number 1 on film. And I tell you, this is the best way for you guys to go back, really get to know us as individuals and how we love the hunt and the reality of hunting of everything. And I'm going back quite a while, but we're young in film, have less facial hair, but you know what? Still love hunting right now as we did then. So to really get the kickoff to this season, the early years here, we're gonna go back to that one time in the woods. It was me and my brother-in-law Seth behind the camera, and it was kind of what got the wheels turning for Haastyle Hunting. So here it is, episode 1 of season 1, the Missouri Triple. November 2nd, we're on our way down to Missouri. Last weekend, Seth and the crew went down there and right away smoked some deer. Russ and I ain't going yet, it's not in full swing. Seth got himself a nice 130 class 10-pointer, and then his brother and as long as Tony got a nice bucks as well. Got some deer on camera, some weird looking bucks. Got a crab buck, almost got a non-typical. We're gonna go down there now and hopefully we can stick one of these big boys that they've been seen and put another one on the wall. After 8 hours of driving, we were 500 miles away from home, ready to hit the woods for our first Missouri hunt. Well, the first 2 sits, well, they seemed pretty useless as we didn't really see much, just a couple young doe and a couple small bucks. Couldn't get any shots going on. So what did we do? We picked up our stand, we headed down to the hill, down in a ravine, found some awesome sign after some scouting, and well, found the right tree. So there we were, having a set in our hands, might as well hang one and get ready for the next hunt. Well, after some grub and a short nap, we headed back out in the woods into our new set to really see what we got ourselves into. It didn't take too long in our new set to start seeing deer. One of those deer, he caught my eye, coming right down the ridge side there, caught him. Went Seth, I think he's a shooter, I think he's a shooter. And as he got closer, the rack kind of started getting smaller, but here he is. Tell you, when I sit down with friends and family and watch the raw footage of this hunt, I'm so glad I didn't shoot that young little buck. Here's a little 9-pointer, a lot of potential, probably a yearling, and I was about to whack him and stack him. That just goes to show you, back then I was at a different time in my career. I didn't have a lot of bucks in my bow, and he would have done just fine if I had him. I would have been just as happy if I shot him or a 150-inch buck. But as he walked away, the next buck that showed up, I really wish he would have came a little closer. Tell you, those last couple bucks, that 8-pointer, he would have done just right. He would have had my heart beating. I would have been so proud to shoot that buck. However, you know, as he left and I got a little disheartened to see that rack go away, about a 115-inch 8-point, I would have been singing a whole different show tune if I knew exactly what was going to happen the next morning, Sunday, November 4th. Well, the morning started out pretty slow on Sunday. Weren't seeing too much. Had one nice buck right across the creek side. Couldn't get a shot. I was about 45 yards chasing a doe, and at that time I just wasn't comfortable enough with my bow. So sitting there, a couple more hours, didn't see a deer, going, oh man, gotta go back home with Tag soup. And I don't know about you guys, but that does not taste too good. And it's about that time I'm starting to get doubt over me that here comes a little doe fawn running down the hill. I'm thinking, ooh, fill a tag time. So I go to, I'm about ready, looking at this doe, and I hear over my shoulder, you're gonna shoot her. I'm thinking he said, there's a shooter. So I'm asking him, where's the shooter, where's the shooter? And I'll tell you, that little bit of miscommunication between me and Seth, my cameraman, meant the world, because it allowed a mature buck come down the ridge on the other side, walk on down, and show me his face and his unique rack. Well, with that unique buck sitting in front of me, big body, right by the doe, I'm thinking, Yep, that's the one I want. And knowing that, the drawback process began. Not one drawback, not two drawbacks, but three drawbacks on this buck.
Did you see that? This buck came in, folks. This goofy 2.5-year-old call buck. We had to get him out of there. 3 beams. Drew back the Blowtech Guardian. Sent the Crimson Hyperspeed home. Whacked to separate the heart from the aortas. Oh, folks. We're just gonna wait a little bit. Deer are everywhere this morning. This is the last sit for November. Whew. That was the loon bird coyote loon buck right in there. Watch the buck staggering up ahead. I think he fell. Shot looked good. Looked like I hit him a little high, but I think I sunk it right in. Wasn't a clean passer, but stay with us, and I'll go track this buck for you guys. So stay tuned. This is Haastyle Hunting.
Well, I whacked them and I stacked them. So now the time was to track them. Came out to Missouri here, get ourselves a nice big buck. Well, we got a big buck, about a 3.5-year-old deer. But man, look at this character. He got big third beam, little drop tine that he broke off, which I wish that would have been on there. Back kicker, big fork, and a nice big 3-point side. This is the kind of deer that you want to take off a piece of property. And he came in, and at first we didn't know what he was. We didn't know if he was a shooter or not. Had another big buck walking behind us. And we look, here he comes across the ditch after a hot doe. Looking at him, third beam. That was just it for me. That was a storybook telling, saying, oh, gotta get this buck. After we had that one buck on camera in Wisconsin, I had to get myself a 3-beam buck. So drew back, Blowtech Guardian, Carbon Express arrow, sent it home. And I couldn't be happier with how these spin-type broadheads worked for me. Brought the big boy down, ran maybe 100 yards. Awesome storytale ending. Last day of the hunt. Last hunt. And, well, only landed about 50 yards from my other stand. So stick with us, folks. We'll be back here around
late December, early January, hunt through some more bucks, and hopefully we can get another dandy or another unique deer like this.
Tell you, what a great hunt, unique buck, and a great start to Haastyle hunting. Tell you, it's still one of my coolest bucks I actually have on the wall is that 3-beam, and might not be the biggest buck, but he's just a unique, cool buck. And tell you, to start Haastyle hunting, what a better way? A little bit of uniqueness to what we're all about. But with that wraps it up here for episode 1 of season 1, the early years of Missouri Tripler. Thanks for stopping in, watching the episode. In 2 weeks, stop by again as we hit up the spring woods. And this hunt, I'm not the one in front of the camera. It'll be my brother-in-law, Seth, whacking and stacking himself his first ever Eastern Gobbler. I tell you, it's a sweet hunt, public land hunt, and it was just a blast doing it. So tune in 2 weeks. Stop by at the end of the episode here. All our sponsors will be listed. Make sure to stop by, check all their stuff out. Tell you, perfect, awesome products. We wouldn't be pushing them if they weren't what will make you better in the woods. But with that, thanks again for stopping by, guys. And always hunt safe and keep it hostile.